Hi guys, one of the questions that was almost never asked of Brexiteers back in 2016 in the run-up to the referendum was, how much will Brexit actually cost? Now, when it comes to Scottish independence, ironically, Brexiteers are many times the ones asking how Scotland could afford self-determination. Here Nigel Farage thought he had Angus MacNeil from the SNP with a gotcha question. He asked the MP how Scotland separated, which is an interesting use of language, but he asked how Scotland could pay the bills. Have a listen to Angus's response.
How would Scotland, separated, how would it pay the bills?
Well, you'd have to ask the same question of Finland, you'd have to ask the same question of Iceland, the same question of Sweden, of Portugal, of everybody else. And you should know, of course, that since 1945 the UK hasn't paid the bills at all. It's been putting on loan and loan and loan, debt and debt and debt, and it's only paid back about 1.7% of all monies borrowed in the last 70 to 80 years. So to ask Scotland how would they pay the bills when the UK hasn't paid its own bills, I find is a bit rich. What we do see roundabout is the prosperity of Ireland having left the UK. There's the prosperity of Norway with its oil reserves and doing a lot for the green agenda as well. We're seeing how Iceland's getting on with the population of Dundee, and we're seeing how Scotland's getting on with a government we don't vote for, a government we haven't voted for, a party we haven't voted for since 1955. I've no worries about how Scotland will get on after independence. I just don't think we'll be needing to send too many food parcels south of the border, Nigel.
Angus MacNeil, thank you for coming in.
Ouch. I don't think Nigel Farage was expecting to hear that. Now, Angus brought up some very interesting points here. He compared Scotland, for example, with Ireland. Ireland used to be a member of the United Kingdom. Now it's not, obviously. It became a member of the European Union, and it has benefited greatly from that. And of course, this is Angus hinting at Scotland becoming a member of the European Union. But he also talked about how the small country status, and he compared Scotland with Iceland, and Iceland has a much smaller population than Scotland does, but it's a thriving country. And then he also pointed to Norway, which is energy rich, and this of course is a parallel with Scotland, which has gas reserves and wind energy. So this idea, once again, and you hear it from Brexiteers, ironically, because Brexiteers are always on about, self-determination and freedom from unions, but when it comes to Scotland, they don't seem to agree. But Scotland would thrive if it was like Ireland, and it's similar to Ireland. It would thrive if it's like Norway, and it's similar to Norway. And it would thrive if it's like Iceland, and in a sense it's similar to that as well. As I said, Brexiteers have a weird way of looking at Scotland. They don't want it to leave, but they claim that it's expensive and they don't like to pay for it. I really wish they'd make up their minds. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.